Hi, my name is Rachel Tucker, and this is the Pavilion. Okay, so a little bit of a preface. There's a nature preserve out really close to my house, and my best friend Melanie lives on the other side of the block from me. Okay, so before we got our licenses, Melanie and I used to go on adventures where we would just go walk around our neighborhood, or we would walk like across the one main street near our house and go about a mile down to the McDonald's, or ride our bikes or walk or whatever. And those were our nice little adventures. And then I got my license, and so we started hanging out more on the other side of town, like where there was more stuff. And so like I would go and I'd pick her up and we would drive around and we'd go get Sonic, or we'd go hang out at Target and all this stuff, right? And we did that for a really long time until a little while, I guess, after she got her license. Then we started going on what we came to refer to as Cruz Nunez's. We'd just call each other up and be like, hey, let's go on a Cruz Nunez. And, anyone in our friend circle would know what that meant. Basically, we would just go drive around pretty aimlessly. That developed into another little joke we had where we would just say, all roads lead to Oakland, because Oakland is this tiny little town right next to our house, like right outside the city limits. And so it didn't really matter which direction we took or what roads we took, we would always end up in Oakland, which is like 6 foot by 6 foot. So it was pretty funny. While we were driving around, we eventually found this nature preserve. And in the middle of it, it's just like a bunch of cornfields. I don't even know why they classify it as a nature preserve, honestly, because it's just cornfields. It's so weird. And there's houses close to it. And right in the middle of one of the cornfields that's on this side of the road, right at the edge, there's just like this random half of a gazebo right here next to the road. Really weird. Okay. Well, we decided that we wanted to make that our new place, and that's where we would go hang out. We go there all the time. We would go there, just the two of us. We would take our siblings. We would take one friend at a time. We would take huge groups. We took groups out there and would go sing, and people would bring guitars and ukuleles and crap like that. We'd go on walks through the cornfields. We would, whatever, just in the middle of the night, teenagers being crazy. Making probably bad life decisions. But that was our place. That's where we felt safe. That's where we liked to just go be us and hang out. So we'd been several times. I can't even count. And one day, it was really late. It was probably getting really close to midnight. And we'd been together since like that morning, and we were getting kind of tired, but we were like, but I don't want to go home. You know how that is. So we decided to go pick up one of my friends, Cleo. So I'm driving, actually, and this is the first time I've ever driven to the Pavilion. But I go and I pick Cleo up from her house, and then we start driving back towards where we live, and she's a little hesitant because she's never been to the Pavilion. But we get there and we're looking for something strange, because every time we go, something strange is there, and then we leave a sacrifice. Well, we have our flashlights. Cleo won't get out of the car. She's scared. But Melanie and I are out. We have our flashlights, and we're running them around the parking lot, and we can't find anything, so we go up to the Pavilion. And we're going along the edges, like I'm over here and Melanie's on this edge, and we're running along the edges and go and meet in the middle, and then both of our flashlights hit the very center at the same time. And there's this like giant pool of blood. And it's like kind of dried, but not like old blood. So it had probably been there, I don't know, maybe like a couple of days. But it's not just a pool of blood, it's also footprints turning into drag marks that go right straight through the back wall of the pavilion into the cornfield. We ran. We hightailed it and got the hell out of Dodge. I've never driven so fast on gravel, and I'm never going to drive that fast on gravel again. It was terrifying. The whole thing was a terrible, terrible idea, and we promised we were never going back. This morning, I told Melanie that I was telling a story and I need something for a dare because I have a pretty boring life. And she texted me back. And I quote, "Well, then I dare you to go back tonight."